Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about 10 Rec Room YouTuber problems. Mostly being a RecTuber is fun, but sometimes it's not. Here are 10 situations in which it kinda sucks. Let's get started. Number 1, getting too many gift boxes. Now I know that there are those of you who might be thinking, how is this a problem? And it isn't per se until it is. Let me explain. You're right in the middle of a parkour map and a Friendotron box pops up and trips you. You're trying to take a photo for a thumbnail and there's the dreaded Friendotron again, ruining the shot. The Friendotron machine is a great addition to Rec Room, but the bane of my existence. Because even with gift notifications off, they still pop up everywhere. A new item comes out and someone gifted it to you, so yay, that's great. But unfortunately, it's now buried under 212 other gift boxes since you blinked and a couple days went by. Now you're either unable to retrieve it until it goes into your inventory months later, or you're forced to dig for an hour or two so that you can wear some new scarf or the Pioneer set. Had to mention the Pioneer set since it's like super cute and one of my favorite things Rec Room has ever come up with. If you don't dig for it right away, guess what? It's probably gone. The other problem is the messages. People use gift boxes to send some very lovely heartfelt messages. Tara, you're the best. Tara, you make great videos. Tara, your emus are cool. Those ones are my fave. They also use it to spam invite me messages. Let me be in a video, please. Can we take a photo? Can we meet? Can you check out my room? Can you cheer me? And usually some combination of all of those demands. It's very hit and miss to open them for hours. I wish Rec Room had a way to view all the messages on boxes and then see who the sender is before deciding to auto-consume all of them or not. Box opening videos are fun, but when you open 600 boxes over the course of 2 hours and then less than 2 weeks later you have 600 more, it isn't that riveting anymore. Especially because after being gifted most of the clothing items in game, it's just film and potions. I feel like I could go on about this, but at the risk of sounding ungrateful, I'll stop. I didn't say these were 10 problems that affected every player in Rec Room. These are specific to Rec Room YouTubers, so give me a little grace here. Number 2, everyone has an opinion about you, whether good or bad. This is true about anyone who's a public figure, but especially true in the Rec Room world because the main demographic of the game is kids and teens. And boy, do they seem to have a lot of time to talk and speculate about us.
Tarapeutic is so nice. I heard she gives all her tokens to poor players and that her and Harry Manlegs go undercover on their alts to give away 1 million tokens a month. I'll support her until the end of time because she's just amazing. Tarapeutic is horrible. I heard she punches junior players in the rec center and vote kicks people who don't use code Tara. She's a diva and only cares about fame. I'll say this until the end of time because she's just awful.
That isn't really an exaggeration, as much worse things have been said about me, and much nicer things as well, I'm sure. Whether you love or hate a certain RecTuber, I guess it pays to mention that you'll be a much happier person if you spread positivity rather than negativity in this world. This isn't just a YouTuber thing or a Rec Room thing, but a very important life lesson. Therapeutic life lessons. You can thank me in 10 to 20 years when you realize this is solid advice. Number 3, having to speak in public. This one may not apply to every Rec Room YouTuber, but I'm sure most of us are fairly reserved, especially off camera. So a really tough thing to endure are public events or making intros and outros while people are listening. I continually mess up my lines when I'm filming, and I'll even send my friends out of the room so that they can't hear me make an intro or record a holotar. I think it's a misconception that just because we're on camera all the time, that we're very gregarious and want to be there center stage with everyone watching us perform. It's not true. Solo filming projects are my favorite actually, because the only ones who have to listen to my inability to talk properly is me and my editor Nande. And I will be apologizing to Nande during the footage when I mess up my lines too many times. When I had to do my AMA in Rec Room in front of thousands of people, I spent all week worrying about how it would go. I practiced the answers, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Preparing helped me feel better about it, but don't think that when you watch us in videos, acting like socializing is easy, that it comes naturally. Sometimes it's actually very draining, takes me days to recover from. Number 4, people think you're super rich for no reason and beg for gifts constantly. Now this one is controversial. I'm not making a good case for myself by making a video about buying a 20,000 token amulet, or videos where I give away 100,000 tokens worth of gifts or go on a major Rec Room shopping spree. But these are videos, people. I don't do that every day. I wish I could, but I pay real money for most of the tokens used in videos like that. Shows up on my MasterCard bill in 30 days, I can assure you. I'm like, wait, who stole my credit card and put a bunch of money on my Steam wallet? Oh right, it was me. And the exchange rate from spending Canadian dollars on US Rec Room tokens hurts a lot. It's like 73 cents Canadian for $1 US right now. Being a Rec Room YouTuber does not mean that we're millionaires. I suppose some of the kid RecTubers who still live at home with no bills might be rolling in the dough, but from what I've seen, even in that case, it's likely reserved for a college fund or something. If I was making a full-time living at 15, my parents wouldn't let me squander it either. As a whole, most RecTubers are making enough to pay their bills, not single-handedly fund the gifting of every person's wish list in the game. So the dozens of DMs and comments asking for specific items or whole wish lists can kindly desist. Thank you. I get that you're 11 and you don't have a real job yet. It's not my fault that I'm in my 30s and I make real money. You probably already have VR, and in that case, you're far more well off than I was at that age. I had a PlayStation 1. There were no smartphones, and I talked to my friends after school on a landline while watching Maury. That was our sad entertainment. I'm not saying people are spoiled nowadays, quite the opposite. You all have it more difficult than most generations because of technology. But at the end of the day, I gift people for other reasons in game. I almost never gift people when they ask, so be a kind Rec Room player, and I'm certain that you'll get all of the items you want eventually. Maybe not from me, but kindness doesn't go unnoticed. Number 5, people target you in games. Some people will stand in the Rec Royale lobby and swear up and down that they're my biggest fan. They'll take a photo with me, tell me it's their new profile picture, and they are never changing it. Suddenly, the game starts, and I quickly realize there's a biased amount of people landing at the same loot chest as me. I barely have time to blink before someone steals my gun and shoots me. Thank God I play with my mic off, as I might have a few colorful words in that situation. I don't have to search it up later, but the odd time I do, I see "I killed Tarapeutic" as the title of their YouTube video that has 3 views on it. Now, I'm good enough at Rec Royale that I can mainly hold my own, but that isn't the point. The point is, if you see a Rec Room YouTuber playing Rec Room, they're not automatically live streaming or filming. No, you're not automatically going to be in a video. Most of us enjoy playing the game first and foremost, which is why we made YouTube channels about it. So respect our space and try to kill everyone equally. That's an odd sentence. It honestly makes me not want to play Rec Room for fun when I can't even enjoy being on my main account. If people are chasing me down and it's clearly just to brag to their friends later, it almost ruins my evening. So remember that the next time you think you're being cute. Number 6, people constantly ask to be in a video. The only thing I get asked for more than gifts and invites and photos is to be featured in a video. People I have never spoken to in my entire life will be like, "Hey, huge fan. Can I be in your next video?" My brain can never fully comprehend this. I have a few people I trust to record with for various reasons, but mainly because I know they'll show up on time, they're probably able to record their point of view and have a checklist they're prepared to execute, such as turn off names, music, and ensure that their watch is off. My new favorite thing is actually asking other RecTubers. They're already set up to record and know how the whole process works. In my experience, getting people to show up on time, ready to film, is kind of an arduous task. Now add in the fact that you might be filming something that requires someone with good energy, able to think on their feet, memorize lines, or take a bunch of directions. Imagine I just responded to a random DM or comment with, "Sure, come be in my next video." I can tell you right now what would happen. A screen mode mute player would show up, waving that familiar screen mode wave and typing, "Sorry, no mic." This is assuming that they show up at all, considering time zones and that most people are very forgetful. At the end of the day, I love meeting new people to hang out with, but I have an expedient system down, one that I know does not frustrate me, and I can get my videos out in a timely manner. I couldn't afford to have a video delayed just because some stranger couldn't commit to a time or flaked out. Number 7, fake accounts are rampant. I think the last time I searched, there were almost 40 other Tarapeutic accounts. Even the real Tarapeutic's mom account that I made when my mom played Rec Room for the first time has a copycat account. These people will go as far as to copy my profile picture, my bio, and even though most of the time it clearly isn't the real me, I don't know who they are running around trying to fool. Also, what's the point of making a copycat account? I guess I fail to see the appeal of it. The only thing I can think of is to trick other people and enjoy a literal 15 seconds of fake fame before people realize that there's no verified checkmark and it isn't the real one. Unfortunately, because of all of these copycat accounts, the question I get asked almost more than any other is, "Are you the real one?" This question has slowed down significantly since the verified checkmark system was imposed, but the question still makes me sigh a bit. If people stopped making copycat accounts, then perhaps we could have less of that redundant question being asked all the time. And by the way, if you think it's fun to make a video where you actually pretend to be me and then start saying offensive things and tricking people, you will go on my mental "I don't like you" list until the end of time. It's just not cool. Don't do it. Number 8, being added to group chats. The group chats are horrible. I think if group chats counted for ways people could get banned, that would take care of most of the horrible people in Rec Room. Seriously, stop adding me to them. I don't care for the atrocious language you're using. If you add me, I'll leave the chat and then block you anyway. Maybe someday Rec Room will actually count this as spam, or make it so that only certain types of people can add you to a group chat, like favorite friends or whatnot, and not just anyone and everyone you're friends with. Number 9, people speculate about your life. This is kind of like the previous point of everyone having an opinion about you. If you stop being friends with someone in Rec Room, you drift or have a fight, no one really cares. I mean, it sucks you stop being friends, but you don't have upwards of like 26 people asking you why it didn't work out. You don't have to answer to anyone. The last time I stopped actively hanging out with someone, people literally tried to DM them to try and find dirt on why I must be a horrible person. It can't just be a simple answer like, "We're not friends anymore. We drifted. We had differences. I don't play Rec Room as much." The speculation does get old at times. Again, this one speaks more to the average age of a Rec Room player. People don't have filters at that age for the most part. Respecting people's privacy and saying, "Well, I shouldn't talk about that as it's really none of my business," is most likely something that's not happening very often. Number 10, not being able to go to public lobbies. I can't go anywhere. I can go to a public lobby and there's like a 3% chance I won't be recognized. I do kind of miss the old days sometimes, honestly. It's nice to go fly under the radar and feel like you're incognito. Nowadays, I get get identified and it's fine, but it makes simply going to a rec center to check the storefront a little bit anxiety-ridden if I'm not in the mood to talk to other people. Just remember that I'm Tarapeutic, the Rec Room YouTuber, but I'm also Tara the person. And Tara the person has off days, times where being super approachable is not top of mind. And just in general, remember, Rec Room YouTubers are people at the end of the day, and people are flawed. People make mistakes. They're not always perfect and don't always make the best judgment calls. So if you meet a YouTuber and they say something or do something that you deem as not perfect, chalk it up to an off day. No need to make a video about it or start assuming that they're like that all the time. This rant went on for a little longer than expected. I guess I have a lot to say. I hope I didn't offend anyone too much. Well, use code Tara. I'm out.